We will start the event now, Dr. Nguyen.
Yes.
For all of the participants, before the event starts, we will read out several rules related to this event. First, participants are expected to turn off their microphones during the event. Participants are allowed to turn on the microphone during the question and answer session. For all of the participants, attendance will be done 2 times and percentages will be sent in the comments below. Excellencies and guest audience, ladies and gentlemen,
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam dan bahagia.
Good morning and welcome to the International Conference on Growth, Innovation, Technology and Engineering. Engineering Fakulty, Universitas Sarjana Wiyata, Taman Siswa.
Distinguished guests, the Honorable Professor Dr. Anjers Haji Padimin, MPD, PhD, as the Rector of Universitas Sarjana Wiyata, Taman Siswa.
The Honorable Dr. Insinyur Iskandar Yasin, STM Engineering, CIPM, IPM, ASEAN Engineering, as the Dean of Faculty of Engineering Sarjana Wiyata, Taman Siswa, University.
The Honorable Mr. Andi Ibrahim Soumi, STMT, as the General Chair of ICGTE 2024.
The Honorable Prof. Wakyuyo Adi Siswanto and Dr. Huynh Nguyen, our esteemed keynote speakers.
Presenters and participants of the International Conference on Growth, Innovation, Technology and Engineering.
Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let us express our gratitude to God Almighty for His blessings, enabling us to gather here today for the International Conference on Growth, Innovation, Technology and Engineering under the theme Advancement in Research and Innovation.
We would like to inform you that this event is part of the series of activities celebrating the 27th anniversary of Faculty of Engineering. We hope this conference serves as a platform for sharing knowledge, research, and innovation in the field of technology and engineering, supporting sustainable global development.
Singing National Anthem of Indonesia and the Song of Taman Siswa. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin this event by singing together our national anthem, Indonesia Raya, and the Song of Taman Siswa. Ladies and gentlemen, please adjust your seating.
Indonesia
Please continue to remain seated comfortably.
Next, we will have the welcome speech and opening remarks from the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and will be represented by Mr. Insinyur V. Reza Bayu Kurniawan, ST MSc. To Mr. Reza Bayu Kurniawan, the floor is yours.
Cek satu, satu. Mas Adit, bocor nggak suaraku di atas?
Okay. We do apologize for the problem of the sound. Salam dan bahagia. The Honorable Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Universitas Sarjana Yogyakarta Mahasiswa, Dr. Iskandar Yasin. Our respected keynote speakers, Dr. Nguyen Tan Huynh from Dong Nai Technology University, Vietnam. Good morning, Dr. Nguyen.
Good morning.
Yeah, Dr. Nguyen visited our campus, especially in Faculty of Engineering, approximately a month ago, and we had very fruitful discussion, and we're very grateful that we can follow up our collaboration today in terms of international conference. Thank you very much, Dr. Nguyen.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And also, we have another respected keynote speakers, Professor Wakyuyo from Muhammadiyah Malaysia University. He will join us in our conference this afternoon. And all researchers and participants. First of all, on behalf of the Faculty of Engineering, I would like to welcome all of you to our international conference and cover paper. I would also express my appreciation to our rector and dean who support this event, keynote speakers who will share their thoughts, all presenters who are interested in presenting their research results in the seminar, and also the participants. Actually, we have 16 presenters and also approximately almost 200 students and researchers join in this meeting. Secondly, this conference is to focus on engineering and technology innovation. Technological innovation is one of the main pillars in the development of various industrial sectors, including engineering and manufacturing. The era of digitalization and automation has given rise to various new technologies such as AI, robotics, sustainable building, smart manufacturing, and the application of big data analytics in various industrial applications. These technologies not only speed up the production process, but also open up new opportunities for product and service innovation that are more efficient, sustainable, and safe. Therefore, this conference aims to firstly explore, to recognize, and to discuss the trends, challenges, and opportunities for advancements in technology and innovation. Also, we provide the publication output in the form of ESPN proceeding and our journals for selected papers as media to disseminate presenter research. Thirdly, in this opportunity, we would also like to express our appreciation to the organizing committee who prepares this forum very well. As reported by the committee, we have already received 16 abstracts from both Indonesia and the other countries such as Algeria, Peru, Vietnam, and India. Regarding this, we would like to say congratulations to all the presenters who will present your research directly. We also thank for participants who actively join this event, and hopefully we can connect and collaborate further. Last but not least, we do hope that this event will be better in the coming year and fruitful for us. Thank you very much, and salam.
Thank you, Mr. Reza Bayu Kurniawan, for your inspiring words.
Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, we now proceed to the keynote session. We will listen to Dr. Nguyen and we will invite to the stage the Honorable Fajar Fitriani, STM Engineering, as our moderator for the keynote speech session. For Fajar Fitriani, STM Engineering, the time is yours.
Check. Okay, thank you Ali and Pinky for the warm opening and thank you for the time. Good morning ladies and gentlemen, respected keynote speaker and participant from around the world. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam dan bahagia. Okay everyone, welcome to the keynote session of the International Conference on Grow Innovation Technology and Engineering 224. Please receive the warmest greeting from Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Okay, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Fajar Fitriani, or you can call me Fitri, and I will be your moderator for this session. It is a privilege to welcome you all here, where we gather to explore and discuss about advancement in technology and innovation. In this session, we have exciting agenda lined up with two keynote speakers who will share their insight and expertise. The first one is Dr. Nguyen from Dong Nai Technology University, Vietnam. And for the second is Professor Wakyuyo Siswanto from Muhammadiyah, Malaysia University. Okay, before we begin, I would like to provide some information regarding today's schedule. We have two keynote sessions. The first keynote will be presented by Dr. Nguyen during this session, which is session 1. And the second keynote will be presented by Professor Wakyuyo in session 2 at 1 p.m. or in GMT plus 7 or after the parallel session. Okay, once again, we have two keynote sessions. The first keynote will be presented by Dr. Nguyen during this session, which is session 1. And the second keynote will be presented by Professor Wakyuyo in session 2 at 1 p.m. GMT plus 7 or after the parallel session. So the second keynote session will be held at 1 p.m. Okay, please adjust this time according to your local time zone. We kindly ask all participants to remain in the room until the event concludes. Okay, we are also delighted to have such a diverse audience with us. Let us kindly remind you to ensure your microphones are muted during the session to maintain an uninterrupted experience. After presentation, we will proceed with Q&A session to address your question. You are welcome to share your question through the chat column or during the Q&A session by raising your hand.
Cek, 1. Mas Sadid, suaraku masuk, bocor.
Okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay, is it okay? Okay, next. Now without further ado, let's begin. It is my great pleasure to introduce our first keynote speaker, Dr. Nguyen from Dong Nai Technology University, Vietnam. Okay, Dr. Nguyen graduated with PhD title in Shipping and Transportation Management at the National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology, Taiwan. He currently in the Vice Dean at Dong Nai Technology University with distinguished career of 13 years and numerous contributions in the fields of economic for banking and transportation. Dr. Nguyen is widely recognized as a leading expert in the field of shipping and transportation management with several SCIE and SSCI index publications. Okay, I would like to ensure that our keynote speaker is all set for the session, Hello, Dr. Nguyen.
Hello, I'm here. I am ready.
Okay, good morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
Are you able to hear us clearly?
Yes, very clearly.
Okay, great, thank you. We will give the floor to Dr. Huynh Nguyen that will present Green Port Evaluation by MCDA. Okay, Dr. Nguyen, your presentation will be 45 minutes, then followed by Q&A session. Okay, please, time is yours.
Oh, thank you very much. First of all, let me share my screen, and I'm going to tell you about the report evaluation this morning. Hello, everyone. Can you see my screen now? Can anyone see my screen now? Hello. Okay. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for your warm welcome. It is my honor and privilege to speak before such a distinguished audience today at the International Conference on Growth, Innovation, Technology, and Engineering 2024. I am truly grateful for the opportunity to share insights and engage in meaningful discussions with all of you here. Let me introduce briefly myself. My name is Huynh from Dong Nai Technology University, and I have had the privilege of dedicating the past 10 years to both teaching and conducting research in the field of shipping and transportation management. Over the years, I have witnessed firsthand the transformative changes taking place in global trade, logistics, and port operations. And I have been fortunate to contribute to this evolving field through both academic work and practical research. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the conference committee for organizing such an important event, bringing together experts, innovators, and thought leaders from around the world. Your dedication to fostering collaboration and knowledge exchange is truly commendable. And I look forward to the valuable conversations that will unfold over the course of this conference. As we embark on today's discussion, I would like to focus on a topic that is becoming increasingly critical in the context of global shipping and environmental sustainability, green port evaluation. And in my presentation today, I'm gonna explore the evolving role of ports in reducing environmental impact, the importance of sustainable practices, and how we can evaluate the effectiveness of these initiatives in promoting greener, more efficient port operations. Once again, thank you for the opportunity to speak today, and I'm looking forward to sharing my thoughts on this important topic with all of you here. And my presentation today includes 5 main parts. And in the first part, I will introduce about why my research deserves to be carried out. And next, I will give you some very basic information about green port. I mean, some literature review in terms of this topic. And the next, I'm going to tell you the research methods I use in my research to evaluate green port. The next, I'm going to tell you some main results from empirical research in Vietnam. And the last one will be some main contributions in my research. So without further ado, I will speak some main information about why my research deserves to be carried out for green port policies. First of all, I want to tell you some main role of the container port in the economy. And here you can see that according to OECD statistics, more than 70% of cargo nowadays are transported by ocean. As you can see here, that means the port is playing very important role in the economy. And here you can see, I can show you at least 3 roles of the container port for every economy. Number one, the port can link the national and international economies. And in some countries nowadays, the port will be a gateway for domestic and international trade because we import or export cargoes through the port. So without port, goods cannot be transported into the country and out of the country. And number 2, the port is now the logistical hub for every nation. For example, the port provide warehouse for cargo storage. They can provide cargo handling service. And moreover, some value added can be handled in the port. For example, custom assistance, assembling, or even store stevedoring services. And the third role of a container port is creating jobs. And you know, I would tell you that the port can generate so many jobs for the population, especially people live inside the port cities. And then they create a lot of sales and pay tax for the government. Although the port contributes so much for the economy, there are some adverse impact on environmental from port operations we need to address. The first one is air emissions. You know, when the ship go into the port area, they not just discharge a lot of air emissions into the atmosphere, but also discharge a lot of plastic water to the ocean. Some air emissions you can see here: sulfur oxides, particle matter, nitrogen oxides, or volatile organic compounds, and so on. Besides, the port operation can have negative physical impacts on the natural environment. For example, erosion, wildlife collisions, noise, and grouting. And here now my question is, how to minimize ecological footprint from port operations still is questionable. So to deal with this problem, research scholars have developed the concept green port. So what is green port? In principle, I would like to tell you that a green port is a port that invests in and encourages environmentally friendly and sustainable operations. However, especially in developing countries like Vietnam, green port evaluation is neglected because developing nations often prioritize immediate economic growth, job creation, and industrial development. Moreover, limited resources for investments in both environmental technology is a main cause that green port evaluation is neglected. So this research aims to provide a framework for assessing green port performance, considering three spheres of sustainable development: environmental, social, and economic factors. And now we're gonna move to literature review. And in this session, I just share you some main idea, some main research about report evaluation that have been carried out before. And this chart presents the number of publications in terms of green ports from 1992 to 2022. And you can see here, the number of research in terms of green ports initiatives are increasingly very fast. As you can see, in 1982, just only one paper talking about green ports. But in 2022, there are 205 articles discussing the green ports evaluation. That means people are now paying more attention about this topic. And according to my opinion, the number of research regarding green ports will be increased in the future. And here, I just list the top 10 countries will have many research about green port. And in here, you can see, except for China, which is developing country, most of green port related research are carried out in developed countries. For example, USA, Italy, Spain, England, Australia, South Korea, Germany, Taiwan, and Croatia. And by this table, I illustrate that green port research in developing country is lacking. So my research will contribute as a methodological reference to green port evaluation. And green ports evaluation is a very large concept. So, and here you can see there are so many aspects of green port that have been carried out so far. For example, in green ports concept, some paper pay attention to port hinterland, green concern, Pearl River Delta region. Another scholar pay attention to regional logistics system, port hinterland container distribution, social cost efficiency, or environmental parameter. Other research discussed about air quality container terminal when discussing about green ports. Some scholars discuss about container terminal allocation, energy consumption, integrated internal drug and York grant when talking about green ports. And green ports also linked to port operation, internet, integrating sustainability, performance measurement, shore-to-ship power co-ironing. Green ports also associate to ballast water, community structure, and some other researchers discussed about port earthing system mutual influence, high voltage, medium voltage short side when talking about green ports. And green ports is also associated with a green performance criteria and port sustainable development. So you can see here, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 aspects of green port evaluation. So in my research, I'm gonna pay attention about this aspect of green ports, green performance criteria and post-sustainable development. And now I will share you a little bit about research methods I use in my research. So my research will go through two main phases: establish decision hierarchy and calculate weights of assessment criteria in the second phase. And now I will speak one by one. In the phase one, the main task of this phase is to form the so-called decision hierarchy and verify decision hierarchy of assessment criteria. So first of all, from group discussion and literature review, my research identified assessment criteria to be used in green port evaluation. And thanks to this step, we identify 16 criteria for green port evaluation. Then we form the decision hierarchy of assessment criteria. If this hierarchy is approved, we move to the next phase. Otherwise, we return back the previous step. And in the phase 2, we calculate the weight of assessment criteria for green port policies. And the first step in this phase will be define the scalar relative importance used in pairwise comparison matrix. And next, we're gonna construct fuzzy comparison matrix. And the next step is very important. In this step, we're gonna check consistent for judgments by using GCI, geometric consistent index. If this index is less than 0.356, we move to the last step, determine priority weights of criteria. Otherwise, we move back to this step, construct fuzzy comparison matrix. Okay, and now I tell you about the decision hierarchy of assessment criteria for green port policies. In here, you can see my research objectives is to evaluate green port. So in doing so, from group discussion and literature review, I identify 4 dimensions related to green port evaluation, including environmental quality, use of energy and resources, waste handling, and more importantly, corporate social responsibility. Because corporate social responsibility will be the most important part of green port policies that many countries are carrying out nowadays. And each dimension we determine 4 assessment criteria. For example, for dimension environmental quality, we have 4 assessment criteria: water pollution, air pollution, land and sediments pollution, and noise pollution. And for the dimension use of energy and resources, we identify energy usage, material selection, water consumption, environment-friendly energy in office and port area. For the dimension waste handling, we specify for assessment criteria, including hazardous waste handling, general waste handling, garbage classification in port area, dedicated storages area for recycling, and more importantly, for dimension corporate social responsibility, we pay more attention to these 4 criteria. For example, port staff training, sponsoring energy conservation and carbon reduction, voluntary activities for community, and community promotion and education. So in my research, I conduct empirical study for container ports in the south of Vietnam, whose location will be here. And here is Ho Chi Minh City. And so along the coastline here, I select 4 container port development or expansion is needed. Moreover, limited resources for investment in both environmental technology and CSR programs mean that environmental concerns may take a backseat. And here you can see we have a sitting assessment criteria here, and it is their ranking. So top 5 criteria for green ports will include general waste handling number 1. Here is number 1. Air quality, air pollution will number 2. Hazardous waste handling number 3. Land and sediments pollution is number 4, and number 5 will be water pollution. That means green port policies of some container port in Vietnam, they just pay most attention to these 5 criteria when talking about green port initiatives. And in here, I'm going to tell you about the green performance of seaports for the VNCB case. And for VNCB case, we have 4 container ports that is being assessed: BDP, HGP, BRVT, D, and P. And Each container port will be judged based on each criteria. For example, for EQ1. So HGB will be the number one with the highest percentage of performance. For criteria number 2, EQ2, then HGB also a best one with the highest percentage of performance. And finally, when we judge every container port based on every criteria like that, and then finally we calculate the total average performance for every seaport, and we have this number that represents for the total green performance. And we can tell HGB will be the best one in terms of green port policy. As you can see here, HGB is the best container port in carrying out green port initiatives. Then PRVT is the next one. PDB is the first one, and DNP is the least one. So here the question is, so why SGB is the best one in terms of green port policies? According to our on-site investigation, I would like to tell you some reason. Number one, SGB has demonstrated a strong commitment to reducing its environmental impact. This includes adopting policies and strategies aligned with the global standards for green and sustainable port development. This company has been proactive in aligning with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, particularly those related to environmental sustainability. Besides, HGP has invested in modern infrastructure and green technologies to enhance operational efficiency and minimize environmental harm, and some key investments include: number one, electronic port equipment. So SGP has been used electric cranes, forklifts, and automated vehicles that help reduce carbon emissions. SGP has incorporated eco-friendly design principles into its terminal buildings and other infrastructure with energy-efficient systems and green roofing. Moreover, SGP has made significant strides in utilizing renewable energy sources, particularly solar power, to reduce reliance on conventional energy. On top of that, SGP has implemented robust pollution control measures, particularly in managing air, water, and noise pollution. This policy includes monitoring emissions, adopting cleaner fuels, and controlling with thorough proper disposal and recycling programs. And now I'm going to tell you, I would like to summarize some main contributions in my empirical research. I have three main contributions. Number one, by literature review and group discussion, I identify 16 criteria and 4 dimensions for green port assessment. And existing assessment criteria can be classified into three aspects of sustainable development, including social, economic, and environment factors. The contribution number 2 is to construct MCDA algorithm to calculate the important weight for criteria in terms of report evaluation. And as a result, it illustrates that corporate social responsibility is the least important factor when talking about green ports. Because in developing countries like Vietnam, companies don't pay much attention to social responsibility. Instead, they care a lot about economic factor. And as a result of MCDA algorithm, I can identify top 5 criteria for green ports evaluation, including green waste handling, air pollution, hazardous waste handling, land and sediments pollution, and water pollution. And the contribution number 3, we use MCDA algorithm to carry out green port performance for container ports in Vietnam. And as a result, each container port is assessed based on each criterion. And as a result, SGP performs the most and DNP performs the least. And now we're gonna move to research limitations for further studies. And in my research, I addressed 4 research limitations that should be improved in the future studies. Number 1, small sample size. In my research, I just surveyed 21 respondents to verify my research model. Because for MCDA application, the respondent should be experts in the field. And experts is not easy to find. So, and we don't have so many experts in the port field. So small sample size will be the first my research limitations. So I highly recommend that the future study should increase the number of experts in the sample size. The more sample, the better the results is. And field assessment for green port policy will be the next research limitations in my study. In my study, I just identified 16 criteria for green port performance, green port initiatives. So it's not enough, I would say that, because when we talk about green port evaluations, there are so many criteria that we should consider. So I highly recommend that future studies on green port evaluation should include more assessment criteria. And the number 3, the research limitations number 3 is for the past container port, for example, SGP, it is needed to explore detailed advantage aspects because according to my knowledge, SGP is having very advantage aspects for doing green port policy. So in my research, I didn't explore about some detailed advantage aspects for the best container board. And the limitation number 4, in my research, although I identify about the green port performance and green port evaluation, but I didn't suggest some solution for operating a green port policy. So in here, to overcome this challenge, I highly recommend that the future research should use the cost-benefit approach to find out some feasible solutions to improve the application of green port policies. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of today's presentation, I would like to take a moment to reflect on the key takeaways that we've shared during our discussion on the evaluation of green boards. First, we have seen that the transition to greener, more sustainable ports is not just a choice. It is necessary. From cutting-edge technology to the adoption of energy-efficient practices, green ports are setting a new standard for environmental stewardship in the maritime industry. These efforts are not merely about reducing emissions or saving energy. They are about securing a sustainable future for global trade while safeguarding our planet for generations to come. Secondly, we have acknowledged the importance of collaborative efforts. As we've explored today, the journey toward a greener port is not one that any single organization can undertake alone. It requires a partnership between governments, port authorities, private companies, and local communities, each playing a pivotal role in the success of green initiatives, whether through policy, technological innovation, or public engagement. Every contribution counts. The actions we take today will echo in the process tomorrow. But perhaps most importantly, we have learned that green port evaluation is not just an academic exercise. It is a practical tool. It is a framework for measuring progress, ensuring accountability, and identifying areas for continuous improvement. The path to sustainability is long and complex, but with rigorous evaluation, we can chart a course that is both environmentally responsible and economically viable. So I leave you today with this call to action. Let us not merely be observers of this transformation, let us be its champions. Whether you are a policymaker, a researcher, or an industry leader, you hold the power to influence change. You have the opportunity to shape the future's approach, ensuring they are not only hopes of global trade, but also beacons of sustainability. The choices you make today will define the port tomorrow. I would like to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to the conference organizers for their hard work in bringing us together to share our knowledge and expertise. I also want to thank each and every one of you for your time, your insights, and your commitment to advancing sustainability in port operations. As we continue to move forward in this vital journey, let us remember, sustainability is not a destination. It is a continuous journey, a journey that requires dedication, innovation, and collaboration. Together, we can and will create greener, more sustainable ports for a brighter future. And thank you, and I wish all you the best in your ongoing work and endeavors. Thank you so much for listening, and this part brings to the end of my presentation today. Thank you so much for your listening and your time.
Me, Ajar Permono. Yes. Let me start. Okay. Okay. Thank you. You coming from our companies as a sample, SGP is the highest. Yeah. The point
Yes.
is 30.14, and then followed by BRVT and BDP, and then the last one is DNP.
Yeah.
Am I right? Okay. My question is, actually, you already mentioned in the last time. Yeah. According to the highest point of SGP, actually, I want to know the cost of benefit, yeah, economics view, yeah, because you know that to raise the green port is actually consume more cost. I mean capital cost. So can you give me in a brief explanation about the values, yeah, economic values of the four sample, yeah, SGP, DNP, DRP, and BDP, more or less. This is my first. Can you understand my question?
Okay, I got it. You
Okay.
just mentioned about the course for
Yeah.
green port evaluation. Green
Okay.
port.
Okay. Right. The second question actually is a simple question. Actually, why from the many topics, around 10 topics, yeah, about the green port, you choose the topics of green performance criteria port sustainable development. Can you explain why you choose this topic rather than other topic? Is
Okay.
is it the important topics of any other reason?
Oh,
I
okay,
think.
okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I got it. I
Thank
got
you.
it.
Yeah,
So,
thank you very much, Dr.
yeah,
Nguyen.
yeah. Thank you very much for your question. I really, interesting with your question. Okay, can I answer your question now? Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for your question. Now, when the first question is relating to the cost for applying green port policy. And in my empirical study, I conduct 4 container ports in my research: SGP, let me see.
SGP, DNP,
Here,
DRP,
yeah.
BDP.
SGP, BRVT, BDP, and DNP. And by applying the MCDA algorithm, I can identify SGP as a best one. Okay. Oh yeah, the best one. And BRVT is the second one. BDP is the third one, and DNP is the least one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's true. So I want to tell you that when the company, the port, apply the green policy, they need money. I mean, they will need cost, not just cost, but a lot of money for that. But in here, in my research, I didn't discuss about how much money they spend for their policy. I just care about what they did for the green performance evaluation. And definitely, according to my opinion, I did know that SGP will pay much money for green port evaluation than other ports. For example, DDP or PRVT and DNP. I know that. But in here, in my research, I didn't care about the cost. We just care about how this port carry out green performance evaluation. Yeah. And I think it is also a research limitation in my study.
Yes,
and
you mentioned, you mentioned in the last, you already mentioned that. Yeah, I know, I understand. You don't include the topic of benefit or cost profit or maybe the next actually is better than included.
Okay. So your second question, why I research this topic, I study that. Okay, it's very good question, because in developing country like Vietnam or even in Indonesia or in Vietnam, we have very long coastline. You mean coastline. So the port is now playing very, very important role in the economy.
Yes.
But although the port play a very important role in the economy, but the port operation creates a lot of adverse impacts on the environment. If you go to the port, you can see a lot of air emissions by port operation. When the ship go to the port area, they discharge a lot of waste into the seawater, and you can see a lot of noise, so much weight during inside the port area. So how to minimize the adverse impact on environment from port operations? We need to accept green port policies. But the fact that I can tell you about in Vietnam, we don't care about green port. It's true. It's the fact. So we don't care about that. In reality, we don't care about that. So in my research, I just want to provide a framework for assessing green port performance, especially in developing countries, when considering three factors of sustainable development, for example, environment, social, and economic. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Awaiting oh, oh, another question. Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, awaiting another question. Okay, thank. Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you. Okay, awaiting another question. Okay, thank. Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you. Okay, awaiting another question. Okay, thank. Okay, thank. Okay, thank you. Okay, awaiting another question. Okay, thank. Okay, No, actually, I just give information to Mr. Nguyen, a little for my personal, why I interesting with the environmental, because my background actually chemical engineering and social human theory gitu. But nowadays I'm interested with the environmental topics because it's our problem. Okay, just like that.
Yeah, thank you very much for your concern.
Okay, good. Gak enak suaranya. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Nguyen. Can you hear my
Oh,
voice?
yes.
Oke, itu aja. Okay. This is Nguyen. Thank you very much. As we did the DSA, I also translate in the apps and so, that is a question here. The perspective is stable. So, here, respondents, we can for our future reasons that simple because I think you know that you mentioned that there were 21 respondents the society which I so you mentioned small so what's the number of small who can foster engagement? So this is my first question. And then the second question is maybe this is something your location, your location, your reasons. So can you mention the situation whether do you have your research in developed country or in developing country or and is it possible to innovations in developed country and developing country? So based on your experience with what can you mention about the difference between the green practices in developed country and developing countries? That's my question. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. His question is very interesting. I got it. Very smart question. The first question. So he argued that how many respondents will be enough, right? Okay, it's very good. So according to my knowledge, for applying MCDA, we don't have the number respondent that will be enough. We don't have that. But in some paper, people argue that 5 respondents will be enough. Just a few papers argue that 5 respondents will be enough for MCDA application, but other articles argue that 5 respondents will not enough for MCDA algorithm. So in here, I would tell you that we will not have exact number of respondents for the applying of MCDA algorithm. But in my case, I just carry out 21 respondents. And I think that it is very small sample size because I'm gonna show you again about the respondent here. In my research, I survey respondents from container terminals. I interview respondents from port authorities, and more importantly, I interview experts from some major shipping lines. And in total, the total population from three types of companies is quite huge, maybe 1,000. The population is huge. But in here, we just survey 21 experts from three kind of companies. And I think it's very less. 21 is very less, not too many. So although in theory, we don't have the exact number of respondents for the MCDA application, but in my research, the population of respondents from empirical case are huge. So 21 respondents will be very less, very little in my research. And I think that the more respondents, I mean, the more sample size, the better the results are. And the next question, can we compare developing countries and developed countries? This research, in the beginning of my presentation today, I argue that developing countries pay less attention to the so-called green port policies because in developing country, people normally prioritize immediate economic growth, job creation, and industrial development. And then ports are vital to their economies, and green initiatives may be seen as a secondary when urgent infrastructure development and or expansion is needed. Moreover, limited resources for investments in environmental technology and CSR programs mean that environmental concerns may take backseat. So I would say that for green port policy, developed country will do better, much better in developed country. So in my research, I just carry out an empirical study from developing country like Vietnam. And my model can be applicable to other developing countries that have the same characteristic as Vietnam, for example, Indonesia, in Philippines, or even in Malaysia. So in the future, I think we should improve the research result by compare about the report evaluation between developing countries like Vietnam or Indonesia with that of developed country. So when we do that, the result will be better and we will have the broadened concept, the broadened aspects of green port evaluation from developing country and developing country. Okay, and this for my answer. Do you have any question for me? Oh yeah. Salam.
Thank you for your presentation, Dr. Nguyen.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Yes.
Recording stopped.
Uh, Thank you very much, Dr. Nguyen.
Thank you very much.
You can leave
Okay.
Zoom
Okay.
meeting if you have another job.
Okay, I'm gonna leave now because I have a meeting after this conference. Okay. See you. See you. Hope
See
to meet
you.
you in the future.
Nice to meet you.
I really wanna go over
See you
west.
on Indonesia again, Prof.
Oh yeah, I will. I will come back to your country again. We'll see you.
See you.
Maybe I'll just do presentation online with my presentation file.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Is the presentation screen visible now?
Yeah, okay, okay.
Okay. Okay, good morning, distinguished audience and fellow researcher. It is a great honor for me to present our study, detailed analysis of road damage using the Bina Marga and Pavement Condition Index (PCI) methods. A case study of Mulabaron Road, kilometer 48 to kilometer 51. My name is Nika Narsati, and I'm the first author of this research. I'm currently a student of Civil Engineering Study Program, Faculty of Engineering at Sarjana Wiyata Tamansiswa University Indonesia. In this presentation, I will share the result of our analysis on the Mulabaron Road. So let us begin. Okay, the background of our research on the condition evaluation of the Mulabaro Road, there is 5 points. The Mulabaro Road is a strategic provincial road spanning 14,290 kilometers in Gunung Kidul Regency, Yogyakarta. This road plays a crucial role as the main access road to popular beach tourism destination, especially during holiday seasons, resulting in high traffic volume. However, the high traffic intensity combined with the age of the pavement and weather conditions has caused various types of road damage. These include cracks, potholes, patches, and depressions. Such damage negatively impacts the road user comfort, driving safety, and the smooth distribution of the region's economy. Therefore, evaluating the road condition is vital to determine the appropriate types and priorities for maintenance. For this research, we utilize two primary methods, the Pavement Condition Index or PCI and the Binamarga guidelines. Each method offers distinct advantage in identifying road damage. However, uh, previous studies predominantly relied on single method independently and often focus on urban roads. This leaves a research gap in evaluating roads serving as tourism access roads, such as the Mulabaran Road. Our research aims to integrate the PCI and Binamarga methods to produce more comprehensive evaluation. So the goal is to provide accurate maintenance strategies and support the sustainable function of the road as a vital access road for tourism. Furthermore, Furthermore, the study aspires to deliver scientific recommendation for the more effective and efficient road maintenance. This will ensure the road to continue to support comfort, safety, and smooth economic distribution in the region. That concludes the background of our research. Next, I will explain the research methodology used. This study employ a quantitative and descriptive approach to evaluate the condition of the Molobaran Road from kilometer 48 to kilometer 51. The road has a width of about 5.8 meters and is a two-lane two-way undivided type or and the methods used include field survey, road damage data analysis, and prioritization of maintenance actions. To evaluation methods, pavement condition index or PCI, and Binamarga method were applied to analyze the types and level of damage and determine the necessary maintenance measures. Here the order. First, data collection with field survey. A field survey was conducted on November 10 and 13, 2024 across the kilometer 48 to kilometer 51 segment. The road was divided into 30 segments, each 100 meters long, so to facilitate analysis. Observed damage included transverse crack, longitudinal cracks, alligator cracking, revealing, potholes, patches, and depressions. The survey employed tools such as measuring tapes, measuring wheels, and roller. Each type of damage was identified and measured based on its length, width, and severity. The findings were documented in survey forms. And here the method to analyze the data. First is Binamarga. The analyze follow the Binamarga guidelines to determine priority ranking values. The results were used to identify the required maintenance types, such as routine maintenance, periodic maintenance, or reconstruction. The steps include calculating the average daily traffic or ADT and classifying traffic level, then computing the damage value for each segment, and then determining the priority ranking value, and lastly, categorizing the necessary maintenance program. Next here, Pavement Condition Index or PCI. Damage data were analyzed using the PCI method to calculate the Pavement Condition Index value or PCI value. This index quantitatively describes the road condition, classified into specific categories. The step in PCI method involve calculating the density value, determining the deduct value, calculating the total value or TDV, identifying the Q value and corrected deduct value or CDV, then computing the PCI value, and lastly categorizing the road condition for each segment. Here's the result and discussion. Based on field survey, there is seven damage on this road. Like we said before, there is transfer cracks, longitudinal cracks, alligator cracks, raveling, potholes, patches, and depression. And there's also road geometric data. The road name is Mulo Baron, location in Gunung Kidul, Yogyakarta. Segment, there is 30 segments from kilometer 48 to kilometer 51. The road width about 6 meters. Road type is two-lane, two-way undivided. Road status is provincial road. There's no median, but there is marking. And here the result for each method. From Binamarga, we got the priority ranking. It was about 7, and it shows that the Molobaron Road from kilometer 48 to kilometer 51 is included in the routine maintenance program. Instead, based on the pavement condition index of PCI method, the Mulabaron Road segment from kilometer 48 to kilometer 51 achieved a PCI value around 83, placing the road condition in the good category. This indicates that the road is generally in adequate condition and only requires routine maintenance to maintain its performance and prevent further deterioration. And here the conclusion. So, based on research conducted on the Molobaron Road, kilometer 48 to kilometer 51, we can determine the condition of this road which fall into the good category according to the PCI value and priority ranking from Bina Marga. Additionally, we have identified the various types of damage present on this road, and therefore, the recommended maintenance actions involve pothole patching, surface crack sealing, and surface dressing to maintain road quality and extend pavement lifespan. To sustain the road's function as primary access to tourist destination, it's suggested to conduct regular monitoring to detect early damage, improve drainage system to mitigate water-related deterioration, and regulate heavy vehicle load spacing through the road. So timely implementation of probably
Tinggal 1 menit lagi ya.
okay. So timely implementation of proper maintenance will ensure user comfort, safety, and the smooth distribution of the region economic activity. Okay, I think that's all from my presentation. Thank you for your attention throughout this presentation. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share our findings, and I hope this presentation has provided valuable insight. You should have any question or suggestion. I would be delighted to discuss them further. Once again, thank you, and I look forward for the engaging with you all.
Okay, thank you, Founder Niken Larasati. Your very insightful presentation. But in here, I think just Niken Larasati presenter, no other presenter in here. Okay, for the other, could you discussion for the Niken Larasati? Question, please. Any question, please? Please, the other participant in here. Any question, please? Oh, no question. Okay, maybe I want to ask for Nikan Larasati. Stay in there.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, what the difference of Pinamarga method and PCI method? What the difference for two methods?
Okay, hello. So
Yes.
I'll answer the questions. First of all, um, the difference is Bina Marga is from Indonesia, instead PCI is from overseas, and the way to process the data is also different. The the guideline for each method is different. Bina Marga is wait,
Pinamarga using LHR, right?
yeah, right. Bina Marga using ADP or average daily traffic, but PCI not using it. That's one of the difference.
Okay. Uh, uh, you get data of daily traffic from you survey or government?
It's from government. It's secondary data, not primer. We got this from Bina Marga. General Bina Marga.
Okay. In the street Baron, the total, how many the total road damage in Jalan Baron? Road damage?
Miss Tita and the president, please to open your cam.
Wait a minute, Pak.
Okay, you can please the road damage in there.
Yeah.
Road damage
The total
there.
in presentation.
Crocodile.
The total presentation we didn't total it yet. Maybe the total would come later in the full paper.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Maybe for the other participant, any question, please? Any question, please? No. Okay. I think enough. Thank you for your active participant, ladies and gentlemen. Before we conclude, I would like to thank our speaker for their valuable insight. Okay. Any additional information or materials to be shared? The committee will distribute them via email or other information channels. Enjoy the rest of the event, and I hope this session has been beneficial to all of us. Okay. Wassalamualaikum. Sorry. This conclusion is roads are the most important part of infrastructure development. Road damage can be identified using several methods. With the result of the several methods, how to deal with the damage can be done. Why is that? Because good transportation will have an impact on economic. That's all for me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
From University of Misla, they will discuss about integrating self-healing material with Sewak as a review on sustainable and durable construction practice. Okay, fifth speaker, his name is Vankatesa Nayak from University College Mangalore from India. They will discuss about harnessing artificial intelligence, pioneering opportunities for aspiring entrepreneurs. Okay, the last sixth speaker, her name is Mr. Wu Ngapson from Faculty Engineering, Electric and Animation, Hanoi University Industry. They will discuss about application of genetic algorithm from Optimus PID controller in CE 110 servo motor control. Okay. Before we start, let me explain a few rules of the session. Speaker will have duration 10 minutes for this presentation. After speaker presentation, we will proceed Q&A session. Yeah. Next participant can write question in the chat box if online or ask directly after presentation. Okay. From the first speaker, Miss Citra Yayu Palangan, SDMSC. Allocate about time is 10 minutes. Yes. Please, speaker Citra Ayu. Palangan, the floor is yours.
You, Mr. Dona. May you hear my voice or?
Yes, I can
Okay,
hear.
it's clear, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for ICGTE committee from Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa Yogyakarta for providing me with this opportunity. So, my name is Citrayo Palangan, and I'm a lecturer in Universitas Atmajaya Yogyakarta, and I will present you about my research. Okay, Mr. Dona, I will share my screen.
Yes. Okay. Screen.
The screen will
presentasi ya?
from me or
Oh, wait. Presentasi ini kita aja. Oh. Oke, wait. Mau ceritain nih? Coba dikoneksi channel. Yang Citra ya? Wait a minute.
okay.
Ingin ke Citra. Mariana. Oh ini. Akses. Kita aja share screen ya? Oh, siapa yang mana? Bismillah. So. Kalau mau presentasi sendiri bisa. Ya sudah, langsung minta bantu saya sendiri mungkin dapat kendala sinyal mungkin. Baik, saya sendiri. Okay, Miss, done for the presentation.
Okay, thank you. So the title of the research is Factor Influencing of ChatGPT Adoption by Generation C, or we call it Gen Z student in higher education. So it enhancing academic activity in Indonesia. So the first writer is me, is my writer is Raymond Frederick. But for this change, just me will present the research. Next slide. So this research aim to explain about how some factor influencing adoption in ChatGPT by Gen Z student in Indonesia, and the result from the study, we built the proposed model for the further research. So this morning I will explain about 6 outline. The first is introduction. The second is hypothesis development that we build, and I will show you the hypothesis or the model in the next slide, and then the method. The fourth is the result. The 5 is discussion, and the last is conclusion. Next slide. Okay. The first stage is about introduction. So as showing in the beginning that the objective of our study or our research is Generation C. So why Generation C? Based on the data, we found that actually the largest generation group in Indonesia is Generation C, with 27.94% of the total population. So it's the big generation compared to other generation like generation millennial or alpha and many more. And Generation C also famous that they are strong connection to technology. So the Gen Z they call them that tech savvy tech savvy, and they call the Gen Z as a digital natives. So as a digital natives, Gen Z updated to technology. So various technology, including artificial intelligence or AI. Next slide. And why artificial intelligence? As we know that now artificial intelligence is one of trending technology nowadays, and AI is increasing to provide and facilitate many jobs in teaching or in industry. Also in for students, AI facilitate learning progress for students. And we have so many tools or various tools in artificial intelligence, like Cloud or Perplexity or Gemini. And one of the famous tools, AI tools, is ChatGPT. Next slide. So, based on the data in Indonesia, we found that actually the most widely used AI power tools is ChatGPT, with 82% of reporting regular usage over the past years. So in Indonesia, the user use AI power tools like ChatGPT compared to another tools, yeah. And we also see from another angle that the most visited AI application in the world, with 60% of total visit between September 2022 until August 2023, is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is famous and has big user. So it's important to see the ChatGPT and the relation of the adoption in student. Next slide. Actually, ChatGPT have numerous benefits, yeah, in education. So maybe for teaching, and in this context for learning for students, they can use ChatGPT for answering questions, summarize text, translate language, produce essays, and design assessment. So it makes students or users wants to use ChatGPT. And based on the data, we found that the most frequently used in higher education, ChatGPT is the most frequently used tools in higher education. Higher education refers to university, refers to vocational school, profession school, and many more. Then K-12 education. So K-12 education is kindergarten until 12th grade education, and still higher than skill training. Skill training has 15.28%. Okay, next slide. Okay, why we choose higher education? Because based on the data, again, the data reveals that the more complex tasks compared to other education level is in higher education. That's why higher education has many tools for the students to help them, facilitate them in learning progress. And higher education also gives opportunity for ChatGPT to support student learning. So in higher education, like university, like in UST or UAJY, we know that the student has so many various or complex tasks, so that they use another tools or another technology such as ChatGPT to support student learning. Okay, next slide. And then why we choose Indonesia? As I present in the beginning presentation, I said that in Indonesia we have a huge or big Generation Z, and in Indonesia also we have 86.16% students have used AI. So they use AI tools for facilitate all their tasks, including tasks in tasks in higher education. And positively, we we see that various factors are enhancing students to adapt ChatGPT. So we have so
Sorry,
many.
you have 1 minute left. Thank you.
1 minute left. Okay, thank you. So we have various factors are enhancing students to adapt ChatGPT. Therefore, this research aim to identify the reasons behind the adoption of ChatGPT. Next slide. Okay, it's for hypothesis development. We will see that we have four factors. Potentially influencing adoption of ChatGPT by Gen Z student. The first is perceived usefulness, PU. Next slide. The second is perceived ease of use. So the more easier technology the student feels, the more they will adopt the technology. Next slide. And social influence. Social influence explain that when students see their peers or teachers using ChatGPT effectively, the more they will adopt the technology. Next slide. About competitive pressure. Competitive pressure will explain about how the peers or the other students will give competitive pressure to a student or individual or user for influence that student to adopt ChatGPT. Miss, may I explain the final results and the discussion and little bit about the conclusion? Okay, this is the result. Yeah, the result is we build the proposed model. The proposed model is consists of 4 factors that will potentially we investigate influence adoption of ChatGPT for Gen Z students. Next slide.
Sorry, Miss.
Yes.
Your time is over.
Okay, Miss Anissa, may I explain about the conclusion part for the closing statement? Miss Anissa? Okay. Okay, I will give a closing statement, yeah, Miss. Okay, thank you. So, next slide. I will explain in conclusion part. Conclusion. Okay, it's the last part. I will explain about our research that the aim of our research is investigating how 4 factors: perceive of usefulness, perceive of ease of use, social influence, competitive pressure influence ChatGPT adoption by Gen Z student in higher education, in particular in Indonesia. And hopefully, this research will enrich literature resource. And for the future study, we hope the other researchers can use industry characteristic factor because we exclude that factor. And maybe for the future research, you can investigate barrier factor because we see not the barrier factor. And maybe for the research, future research, you can use this model for continuous usage of ChatGPT model. Okay, thanks for the time. I bring to Mr. Dona.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Fitriani. It's so interesting, yeah. Gen Z, okay.
Yep. Always interesting if we share or explore the Gen Z.
Okay, Miss. We will be in a question for participant. Any have question? we will wait.
I think the most of the participant is from Gen Z, yes, Mr. Or yeah.
Okay, nothing to ask. So participant, we wait for 1 minute.
Hello.
Okay, we have one question. Okay, with Mr. Please introduce.
I think Mr. Mariano will ask a question.
Oh, okay, Mr. Any question?
Or just testing mic, testing the
Oh,
microphone.
okay. If
No, sorry. I am sorry. No, sorry.
Okay.
okay, if not any questions, thank you for Miss Citra as first speaker. Yeah, it's full. Next, we will hear from second speaker from Mr. Mariono Antoni. The floor is yours. Wait a minute.
Yes, one moment.
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Yes. Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for being here today. My name is Mariano Anthony Carranquista. I am pleased to present about blockchain validation with authority seals, a new approach. Next. Next. Introduction. Blockchain. Blockchain technology guarantees the security and integrity of data through hashing techniques and decentralized storage, effectively combating information fraud. Pillars. Pillars such as immutable logs and advanced encryption ensure the authenticity and traceability of credentials in decentralized systems. Digital stamp. A certification model based on a digital seal in blockchain is a proper replicant traditional seals with greater security and efficiency. Next. Method. Seal integration. Before. Before, please. Seal integration. The methodology details accreditation validation system in blockchain using authority seals. Illustrate in Figure 1. This system generates unique hash from record with key information, such as the credential of the certifying authority or the holder. The process links the credential hash with the authority hash, ensuring authenticity and integrity. Next. Result. The figure exhibits a sequence of the transaction blocks within a blockchain with highlighting the authority seal process. And block 2 records the authority credential, which acts the certifying entity for other credential. With credential. Discussion. The figure demonstrates therefore the authority seal of a credential is established as a one-to-one relationship. The stability of the blockchain allows a single seal to be linking with multiple credentials, adding flexibility to the system. In addition, depending on the business model, a credential the seals multiple authorities, which strengthens the verification and trust of the system. Various model 224 decentralized platform promote great transparency and reliability in credential authentication. Trend another in database association can be one-to-many, such as teacher, senior network, or several students or many-to-many, where teacher and student interact with the several participants. There are also one-to-one relationships, such as teacher teaching a single student. Next. At the conclusion, protocol for credential authentication. At the conclusion of the student on authority stamp validation in the blockchain, it is evident how this technology redefines the security and integrity of digital information. In addition to facilitating a new paradigm in credential validation. Theoretical and practice methodology. The methodology developed based in theoretical and practical analysis demonstrate the viability and robustness of the signature by association as an authentication mechanism is a decentralized environment. Next. Acknowledgement. I express my sincere thanks to the Universidad Nacional de Cañete for its invaluable support and funding sponsoring this research. Next. Thank you.
Yes, okay, Mr. Mano, thank you very much for the presentation. Okay, we have 3 minutes for the X for participant. Okay.
Oh, iya, ya.
Um, we have no question for participant, please. if there are any question, we will the next speaker. Thank you for Mr. Mariano Antoni. We will hear from third speaker, Mr. Hussein Edi. Okay. Wait a minute. So now we will hear from third speaker, Mr. Hussein.
RP mode, we can see clear that both distributions are almost similar. We can see triangular form having horizontal weight situated at about one-third of the wall height. In both cases, more column and plastic hardening. Considering the case of axial pressure in RT mode, we can see that plastic hardening shows more curved distribution than the more column one. In the center weight situated at the higher position with a more curved shape. The case of passive earth burn RB mode, we can see that plastic hardening shows a more realistic behavior of the passive earth pressure than more column, having a center weight that changes from the middle of the wall to the one-third more wall movement of the retaining wall. Passive earth pressure in active mode shows a peaky state in more curve, while a curved one in plastic hardening model, with the center weight in both cases situated about 0.22 of the wall height. As conclusions, is we don't have much time. Active earth pressure is slightly influenced by the amount of volume in empty mode. Active earth pressure increases at the wall upper half while it decreases at the lower one. Plastic hardening model shows well these changes in active earth pressure magnitude better than the wall column one. Active earth pressure in RB mode is acted like the translation mode in both cases, more column and plastic hardening. Passive earth pressure is heavily influenced by the amount of movement. RB mode shows that the magnitude of passive earth pressure increases with more wall movement to a distribution similar to the one in translation mode at high movement. Plastic hardening mode requires much more movement to reach the limit value than more column. Passive earth pressure in RT mode increased at lower part of the wall with wall movement, while the upper half of the wall keeps passive earth pressure at all stages of movement. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hussein Edi. We wait about Mr. Mahmud Boslam, Mr. Vanska, sama with Mr. Wong Aksun for join to Zoom. We are currently contact him. Wait about 5 minutes. Okay, I'm sorry to this. Yeah, we wait about 5 minutes. If not, we will not to presentation. Oh, sorry.
Welcome to the International Conference on Growth, Innovation, Technology, and Engineering organized by Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa. And thank you for joining us today. We are excited to have esteemed researchers presenting their work in this session. Before we start, I will be remind participants about the presentation rules. First, each presenter has 10 minutes for their presentation, and then will be followed by a brief Q&A session. And the last presentation can either be live or pre-recorded. And before we start also, I will announce the order of the presenter. In this room, room 3, the first presenter will be presented by Dr. Anjali Detik from Bharati Vidyapet, India. With title Literature Review on Visualization for Terrorist Activity. And then second will be presented by Dewi Storini from Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa, Indonesia. That will be presented by Fajar Fitriani with title The Effect of Fine Aggregate Waste and Sikasim Concrete Additive on Compressive Strength. And the third presenter will be presented by Dr. Manpreet Kaur from Punjabi University, Guru Kashi Campus, Punjab, India, with title Metric Analysis of an Enhanced Bandwidth Multiband Circular Monopole Antenna Employing Research Cased Ground Structure. And in the last presented will be present by me with tell development of a portable disaster evacuation simulation tool using QFD. And now we'll going to the first presenter. Dr. Anjali Detik. Okay, I'm sorry because they are a little wrong. We're going to the second presenter that will be presented by Fajar Fitriani with the effect of fine aggregate waste and Sikasim concrete additive on compressive strength. To Miss Fajar Fitriani, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Febri, for the time. I will show my PowerPoint first. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this occasion, I would like to present our research in engineering with title The Effect of Fine Aggregate Waste and Sikachim Concrete Additive on Compression Stress. Okay, I'm sorry. This is the outline of my presentation. First, I want to share about introduction. Second, research method. Next, result and discussion and conclusion. Okay, in introduction, I want to tell you about the definition of concrete. Concrete is one of the most widely used construction materials in building structure. Concrete is a mixture of Portland, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, water with or without additive that form a solid mass. Okay, uh, the fine aggregate usually from natural sand, and the coarse aggregate usually from natural stone or rock. The modern concrete technology now allows the use of material originating from nature to be limited, and on the other hand, the use of waste material can be utilized optimally as material for making concrete. Sikachim as a as concrete mixture concrete and to speed up to 15% to reduce porousness and making casting easier. The aim of this is to determine the compressive strength of concrete, River rock fragment as concrete additive. Okay, this is the materials that we use. Main materials is cement. Then we use coarse aggregate, fine aggregate waste, and sikachim. There were 27 test objects in the form of cylinder with diameter of 160 meter and height of 300 millimeter, consists of variation of normal concrete and concrete using chim. The sikachim use 0.6% and 0.7% by cement weight. Fine aggregate weights were 20% by fine aggregate weight. The curing of cylinder were 7, 14, and 28 days. Okay, this is the variation of the specimen. We have 3 variation. The one is M.Eng. It is a conventional concrete without sikachim. The composition is in the table. So the one is PE. It is variation concrete with 200% fine aggregate waste and 0.6% sikachim. And the third one is PT, that is variation concrete with 20% fine aggregate waste and 0.7% sikachim. For its variation, we have 3 amount of specimen. It is the result of the research. We have the result in unit weight and compressive strength. When we draw the graph, we get the result of the concrete test. It was found that the highest concrete weight was in the concrete variation with the addition of 0.7% sikachim at a concrete of 7 days. It amounting to 2,407 kilogram per meter cubic. This is because the concrete variation used the substitution of stone fragment as sand. On average, PM exhibit the highest compressive strength. The highest strength of conventional concrete age 28 days in 20.12 megapascal. The compressive strength of 0.7% sikachim is higher than 0.6% sikachim variation. Okay, for the conclusion, the compressive strength of conventional concrete is 23.10 megapascal, and the highest compressive strength with a variation of 0.7% was 18.4 megapascal compared to a variation of 0.6%. It can be concluded that the use of sikachim additive is able to increase the compressive strength of concrete. Thank you. That is my presentation.
Thank you for your presentation. Any question for Fajar Fitriani?
Okay, any question?
Hello, any question? Okay, maybe I will ask you about what was the primary motivation for selecting Progo stone fragment as a fine aggregate substrate in this study, Mrs. Fitriani?
Okay, thank you for the question, Mr. Febri. Because close to my house. No. Okay. We choose the stone from Progo River because it located in Yogyakarta. So when we will expand or experience or advance the experience, we get the natural resource in there.
Okay. Any question for other participant? Other participant? Any question for Fajar Fitriani? Okay, if there are no question again, maybe you can close your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
The
yes,
next
sir.
presenter. The next presenter.
Sir, my name is Dr. Manpreet Kaur.
Okay. Time is your Miss Manpreet. And I will share
So please share
your
my PPTs
PowerPoint.
from your site. Yes, sir.
Yes. Sorry, Mrs. Manpreet, before you
Yes,
present,
sir.
you can on cam. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
So could I start now?
Yes.
Okay. This is Dr. Manpreet Kaur, Assistant Professor at at Yogyakarta Department of Engineering, State Punjab, and I'm from India. And today I'm going to give my presentation on the topic Parametric Analysis of Enhanced Bandwidth Multiband Circular Monopole Antenna Employing Recessed Ground Structure. The contents of my presentation are, first of all, I will going to discuss with you what is a brief introduction about the microstrip patch antenna. Then I can discuss the basic antenna parameters. After that, I can show you the design methodology that I have adopted during the designing process of my proposed antenna. Then I can show you the design of the antenna. After that, I can show you the results that I have achieved after simulation of the antenna. And last, we have conclusion. First of all, what is microstrip patch antenna? Microstrip patch antenna consists of a radiating patch. In this, we have a radiator that is placed on the upper side of the dielectric slab, and on the back side of the dielectric slab, we have a ground plane. And the patch, the conductor that is placed in this picture, you can see that yellow color represents a patch. And at the bottom, we have a microstrip feed line that is used for the excitation of the antenna. And gray portion specifies the substrate, the material of the antenna. And at the bottom, in white color, we have a ground plane. Now, for the microstrip patch antenna, we have different shapes like square, rectangular, dipole, circular, elliptical, triangular, circular ring. But the commonly employed shape for the antenna is rectangular shape. Now, the advantages of microstrip patch antenna, why we will use this type of antenna? Because they are lighter in weight and they have very small size. These antennas are easily imprinted on any PCB, and it is simple to design and manufacture. The manufacturing cost is also less for such type of antennas. And these antennas, they can support multiple frequency bands like dual band, triple band, quad band. Now, here I can show you the disadvantages of the microstrip patch antenna, that these antennas, they show narrow bandwidth. So please move to the next slides, next two slides. Disadvantages, next slide. So please shift to next slide, because I am telling the disadvantages of the microstrip patch antenna, that they have narrow bandwidth. Such antennas, they show lower efficiency and less gain, and these antennas, they have less power management capability. Now, the basic antenna parameters. After designing the antenna, we can analyze the performance of the antenna by using the gain, by computing the gain of the antenna, by plotting the radiation patterns of the antenna, by computing the return loss and the bandwidth of the antenna. Then we have a voltage standing wave ratio that specifies that tells us the impedance mismatching. And last, we have the efficiency. Now, the design methodology that I have adopted in my work. First of all, I have used the software High Frequency Structure Simulator for the designing of the antenna and for the simulation of the antenna. Now, the antennas in the literature, several types of antennas are available, like microstrip patch antenna, like fractal antenna, hybrid fractal antennas, PFA antennas. But in the proposed antenna that I have designed, that is a multi-band circular monopole antenna, MCMA. The material that I have chosen for the designing of this antenna is FR4, and the dimensions of the antenna are 30 into 30 into 1.6 mm3. So please shift to the next slides, please. Proposed MCMA designing HFSS. That please shift at slide number 9. Structure of the antenna that I have designed in the software. Now, during the designing process and during the simulation process, this is the screenshot that I have taken in the software. Now, here is at slide number 10, this is the figure A specifies the structure of the design patch that I have drawn, and figure 2 represents the ground plane. In this figure, red color represents the substrate, green specifies the patch structure that I have proposed, and on the back side, the yellow color specifies the ground plane. Now in slide 11, these are the dimensions of the antenna. The substrate length is 30 mm, the width is 30 mm, and the radius of the circular patch is 12 mm. The ground length is 15 mm and the width is 30 mm. Now these next I am showing you the return loss in the slide number 12. That is a return loss that I have plotted. In this slide, we can say that the antenna resonates at 7 different frequency bands with very good S11 characteristics. And next, I can show you the characteristics of the VSWR plot, that is a voltage standing wave ratio. Then I am showing you the radiation patterns of the antenna. In the further slides, radiation patterns of the provided antenna. And in the simulated results, I can in the table that is given slide number 16 in the table, it is shown that the antenna can cover 7 resonant frequencies with good S11 characteristics, and gain at the frequencies is very good. VSWR and bandwidth, all parameters, all the computed parameters provided by the software are shown in tabular form. Then the conclusion. Wireless communication technology aims to fulfill the contemporary application needs, focusing on compact size and multi-resonant devices. The presented circular monopole antenna is tailored on a flexible and easily accessible FR4 substrate. The design radiator exhibits a unique shape and is generated systematically. The recessed ground of dimensions 15 into 30 mm square is positioned on the back side of the radiator. The claimed resonant points are 5.09, 9.74, 10.54, 13.26, 13.94, 16.79, and 19.92 gigahertz. The respective S11 values are minus 13.34, minus 16.83, minus 30.89, minus 34.53, and minus 20.27, and minus 20.13. After all the computations based on the demonstrated outcomes, I can tell you that implicit geometry claims its functionality for C, X, KU, and K band applications. Thank you, sir. So these are the results in tabular form of the design structure. This is the future scope, and last, these are references.
Thank you for your presentation. And
Thank you,
now
sir.
we're going to Q&A for
Okay, sir.
all participants or other presenter.
Okay, sir.
If any question for Ms. Manpreet Kaur? Any question? Okay, maybe I will ask you about what is the primary motivation for designing this circular monopole antenna, and
Sit.
how does it
Okay,
address
sir.
contemporary wireless communication needs?
Okay. Actually, so what happens in the previous literature, I have studied different types of monopole antennas, but they are different shapes, like rectangular shape and the triangular shape. But I have decided that I can make the antenna of different shape. That I have chosen a circular shape. And moreover, the my antenna cover seven different bands that I have, which it covers C band, XU band, KU, and K band. They are very important bands of communication because they are used for the military applications. They are used for navigation, in radar communication, and some antennas that are different shapes that I've studied. They work for 2 or 3 bands, but my antenna work for multiple bands.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
And a second question, maybe.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Could you explain why the FR4 substrate and specific dimension were
Yes, yes. So
chosen for the
this
antenna
is the
design?
yes. So this is the material of the substrate, that is FR4. Because different types of materials are available for antenna designing. Like we can use Rogers material that we have got from Singapore. I have chosen FR material because it is easily available and it is very cheap. It can be available in every country.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is very cheap, and it is this because it resists the radiations as well as the heat parameters. During that, it doesn't melt. It works at different environmental conditions.
Okay. Thank
Yes,
you
yes,
for you.
yes.
Any question for Mrs. Mampret? Other participant or from other presenter? Okay, if there are no question again, you can close your presentation.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And now we'll going to the last and I will present my work in this session. Yes. Ah, okay, in this work, I will present my team. Muhammad Jeriful Zulfiar from Civil Engineering, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, and Toditimo Aji from Mechanical Engineering, Universitas Sarjana Wira Taman Siswa. And this work titled Development of a Portable Disaster Equation Simulation Tool using QFD. In the introduction, there are many schools like SD Muhammadiyah Insan Kreatif Kembaran that play a crucial role in fostering awareness of local disaster, and many disaster mitigation education efforts are not running well. And then the teachers at the school believe that the creation of evacuation roadmap has not fully met the target. The two factors contribute to suboptimal effectiveness of the evacuation route maps in enhancing disaster mitigation awareness. First, the function of room changes almost every year. Second, the evacuation rule maps are only posted on one of school walls. This research method, QFD approach, used to integrate summer feedback like teachers, students, volunteers, data collection with interviews, then respondents, and questionnaire based on needs and prioritization using a Likert scale. And the outcome identify key features: portability, interactivity, easy to achieve. And this result of questionnaire. Next. And this relationship between technical characteristics can be seen in the triangular section of the host of quality. This, for example, for weak characteristic, the technical characteristic weak has a connectivity value of 23 with other technical characteristic and has a very strong relationship with size. And this decision, maybe they are the 14 component. And the conclusion is manufacturing and simulation to minimize costs during the simulation process. Only certain components were produced. They include the main board, several partition and partition legs, and the board handles. And to make costs, all components were made using mahogany wood. The tool was then tested with children under 5 years old. This test aimed to assess the weight of the design tool with the assumption that students at SD Muhammadiyah Kreatif Kembaran will be able to lift the tool since it was manageable to your young children. And the conclusion is the disaster evacuation simulation tool was successfully designed using the QFD. The design was also successfully manufactured and tested. This process involves several stages, starting with data collection, determining the voice of consumer, and creating the host of quality. First, the evacuation route map, which was previously a static design and post on a school wall, is now a portable and easy storable tool. Second, the previously had to understand evacuation map has been transformed into an interactive simulation tool, enhancing students' understanding evacuation routes. Third, the disaster simulation tool is made of inexpensive, strong, and ready available mahogany wood, making it more durable than the previous map. The fourth, the tool is easy to assemble, and the evacuation routes can be customized using the testable partition. And the last, the tool is flexible and adaptable to route changes that may occur annually due to change in the school's room function. Thank you. Any question?
Okay,
And
hello,
yeah,
Dr. Febri. Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, I would like to give you a question. So, what about the safety in health? We know that children don't care about healthy in their toys. We know about biomaterial. So, do this object use biomaterial or something? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your question. Yes, this product that made by mahogany mahogany wood. So this product is very safety for children. Any question? This product for mahogany wood. So it's very safety for children.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, maybe that's my question.
Okay. If there are no question again, so I will call the next presenter. Mrs. Jali. Oh, I think this enough. And thank you for you all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.